In this video, we are going to implement a simple UDP client server program in C programming language. Here both the client and server are going to communicate with each other by sending and receiving some messages. To learn more about it, make sure that you watch the complete video and subscribe the channel for more such content. Do join the membership to support the channel. So before beginning with the coding part of this video, let me show you the configuration of my system. So I'm using Ubuntu 20.0.3 LTS, and this program is written for can work in any Linux environment and maybe Mac, but for Windows I am not confirmed whether it would work or not because I don't use Windows and I feel Windows is for gamers only. Yeah, that's my point of view. So let's begin with the coding of the server.c file first. And all the Windows guys, I'm sorry if you take it seriously. Okay, so these are all the header file which we need to include in this program. Next, we're gonna start with our main function. So all the code would be inside this main function. So this main function return an int. So let's return a 0. Okay. So what we're gonna do? First of all, we're gonna take the port because we are working on a UDP client server. So we're gonna need an address and a port number. So address we're gonna define. We can say here character IP that we can statically define, not statically, hardwired way. So we're gonna define it here in a variable called IP. Okay, because both the client and server are going to be on the same machine, so I'm going to use this address, this local host address. If you want both the program to be on different system, then maybe both the system first of all should be connected in a LAN. They can communicate with each other, and you should know the IP address of the server. So in the server you can specify the IP address of the server. Okay, and the other program can be on the different machine and they can work like this somehow. Maybe I can make another video for that program where you want both the client server on the different machine and how they can communicate. But for now, let's assume that we are working on the same machine and let's build the program from that perspective. Okay, so we have the IP address. Now we're going to need the port. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take the port dynamically as a system argument. Okay, then we have a character pointer to pointer argv. Okay, so I'm going to implement something here. If argc its length is not equal to 2, then we're going to say something. We're going to print some message here. So we're going to say users, then we're going to say percentile s, percentage s, or and then we're going to say port, then a new line character, and after that we're going to say argv 0, and then we're going to exit the program with a 0. So this simple line here. Okay, so this basically means, okay, I'll tell you what happened. Okay, here let's compile this program server.c.out. Okay, so it compiles without any error and warning. So let's run this program. So you can see when we call this program, we just run it like this. So it would give you a message. It uses this, the name of the program which we are running, and the port number. So you need to define a port here. Like if I say 4455, so it runs. It don't give any messages. It just run blank because we don't have anything after that. Okay, so this is the port number. This port number we're going to give during the while we run the program as an argument while running this program. In the line number 17 we can say int port equals it's porty, sorry, that's by mistake. You can say argv 1. Okay, so now we have both the IP address and the port. So we need to define some more variables here. Okay, so I'm going to copy paste here and we're going to directly put them here. Okay, so these are all the required variables, structures, character, and everything we need in this program. Okay, so next we're going to define the socket structure. Okay, before that let's print the address for this confirmation whether we receive a port number. We can say port number just to show that we have received a port number. Okay, so yeah, we're going to say port. So let's compile this program again. Oh, I'm running it, not compiling it. Okay, so no error and warning. we're going to run it. So we have the message. Now we're going to give it a port number. Now you can see port number 4455. So you can see we are receiving exactly the same thing here. Okay, so we can remove this line. So in the next line, we're going to define a socket. We're going to say sock fd, which we have defined as an integer. So sock fd is basically a socket descriptor. This is socket, and inside it we're going to define some values. AF init. Then we have sock dgram underscore dgram. So for UDP, we have to specifically use this term sock underscore dgram. That specify that we are using a UDP protocol to communicate. Okay, we are building a UDP server here. Third value would be 0. I have also another video of the implementation of TCP client server program. Check that I button, you can find that video, or you can check the description for that video. Okay, so this is done. Now we're going to check if there's any error. If fd is less than 0, then we're going to print some message. Okay, so we're going to say an error message here. Okay, so this is the error message, and then we're going to exit the program. Next, we need to set some values inside this server ADDR. Okay, before that, I'm going to use this memset function. Okay, and after that we need to fill some values inside this. So first of all is going to be the family. Okay, so we can say server underscore ADDR dot sin family. So AF underscore inet is basically the family, which you have defined also in the line number 25, that is inside the socket function, and same we're going to define it here. Next, we're going to need to define the port number. Okay, and after port number we're going to define the IP address. So we can say in ADDR dot s underscore ADDR, and we're going to say inet ADDR, and here we define the IP. Okay, so filling all the values inside the server address structure is done. Now we're going to bind the address, that is the IP with a specific port number. So let's save the bind, call the bind command. Okay, not the command, the function. First we're going to give it the socket fd, that is server socket file descriptor. Next we're going to say struct, sorry for the spelling mistake, pointer, and after that we're going to say ampersand server ADDR. This is the struct. As you can see, this structure is same, and inside the structure we fill all the required values. Okay, now after that we're going to say, okay, where's my cursor? Here. Okay, the size of server ADDR. Okay, now we're going to check for any error. If n is less than 0, then we're going to say some message we're going to print, and this time is going to be bind error. Okay, so we have bind error. So if you remember my TCP video, when we build a TCP client server program, in case of TCP we follow the same structure. We build a socket, just some parameter are changed, then we use the bind function to bind the address with specific port number. But in TCP, after that we connect both the client and the server with each other. But in case of UDP, we do not need any connection. We do not connect the client and server with each other. We just send messages. Okay, the difference between TCP and UDP is that in TCP we first establish a connection between the client and the server, but in case of UDP we do not need to establish any connection. We directly send the data to the client. Okay, the difference is that the UDP is much faster as compared to the TCP, but the limitation or the drawback is that it does not care about whether data is received or not. It just send you the data and that's done. Okay, that's how it works. So now we have worked till bind. So next part is to send the data. Okay, so we'll see till now if we have any issue or any problem. So we're going to compile it first. Okay, then we're going to run it. Okay, so no messages are printed. It means that we do not have any socket error or any bind error. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, we're gonna have our client here, we're gonna work with the client now, because some things are going to be the same for the client. So I'm directly going to copy paste them here. Okay, and then we're going to understand the structure of the program. So these are all the header files from line number 1 till line number 8. At the line number 9 we have again the main function which returns an integer, and at the end we need to return a 0. Okay, then we have this from line number 11 till 15 we have this program which returns if the user or the person who's running the program does not provide any port number. Then we again have the same variables, the IP and the port number. Then we have some variables, some addresses is ADDR. Then we have socket len underscore t address size. Then again we define a socket. Then we have a socket descriptor. This time we are working with the client, so this is a client socket. Then again we specified the variable inside this ADDR structure. Okay, so what we gonna do? So here first the client is going to send the data to the server. So here in the client we're going to write the code, okay, to send the data. So before sending the data we're going to clear out the buffer so that there is no garbage value inside it. So we're going to use this b0 command. First name the variable, then the buffer size, the size of the buffer variable. Then we're going to copy some value inside the buffer. So we're going to say hello world. Okay, so this is our simple message, and then we directly are going to send it to the server. So I have already told you no connection established need to be done between the client and the server in case of UDP. So first of all we're going to say socket fd, that is socket file descriptor, then the name of the variable containing the data, size of the variable, then is 0. Then we need some casting, struct stru, okay, spelling mistake, struct. Then we have socket addr pointer, then again we're going to say ampersand addr, then we're going to say size of addr. Okay, so now we have sent the data, so we're going to print a message here. We're going to say data send, and we're going to print the message here what we have sent, any new line character. Okay, so we have sent the data. Now we again go back to the server.c, where here we're going to receive the data. Okay, so something similar need to be done. First we're going to clear out the buffer using the b0 command function for the command, the size 1024. Okay, now we have another variable called addr size, I think, which you already know, we have defined it above. Yeah, addr size, this we need whenever we are going to receive the data. We're going to say size of client addr. Okay, then to receive the data with the function receive from. Okay, for sending the data we have function send to, and to receive the data we have receive from. Again the same thing, socket file descriptor, the name of the variable which should receive the data, size, then a 0. Then we're gonna have the casting, the client addr, and the addr size. Okay, something like this. We have casting type, then we have the client addr structure, then we have the addr size which we have defined in line number 43. Okay, so we have received the data in the buffer variable. Now I'm going to print it. Okay, so what we're going to say, receive data received. Okay, okay, percentile s, and then new line, we're going to say buffer. Okay, so now we have a simple program where we're going to start with this, we will compile both the file. Okay, so let me just zoom in also here so we can have same. Okay, So first of all, we're going to compile the server program first. Okay. That's my mistake. Okay. Now we're going to compile the client file same way. Okay. So we're going to run the server program, a port number. Okay. So now you can see the server program is waiting to receive a message. Okay. Now we're going to run the client program. So make sure that you use the same port number. Okay. Let's say 4455. So you can see on the client we have received the message data send hello world. On the server, you can again see the message printed data received hello world. So you can see now the client is able to send a message to the server. Okay. This happens when we use the same port number. Now let's run this program again. Okay. We have started the server. Now in the client part, we're going to change the port number and let's see what happens. So in the client, we can see the message hello world is sent to the server. But in the server part, no data is received because the port number is different. And that's the importance of having the same port number. Basically, ports number establishes a connection. Basically, ports number is a kind of is basically a destination where your data need to be reached. Okay. That's why we need same port number. Remember that same port, same address, same port number, because address we have defined here. So they cannot be changed when we run the program, but the port number can be changed. Okay, when we run the program. So till now the server has received the data. So now what we're going to do, we're going to send that data back to the client, and for that we have the simple for line. Again we zero out the buffer variable. We copy a message inside the buffer variable. We're going to say welcome to the UDP server. Okay, then we're going to use the send to function. Inside that we're going to have this socket descriptor, this buffer containing the string which you need to send to the client. The size of the buffer then is 0. Then we're going to cast the client ADDR structure. Then we have the size of client ADDR. Okay, and then we're going to print a message on the server data send. Okay, done. Now some lines of code need to be written to the client also, client part also. So this is the part which need to be written. So the client is going to receive the data from the server. We again zero out this buffer. We have this ADDR size of the ADDR. Then we are going to use the receive from function, which takes first the socket descriptor, name of the variable which is going to receive the data, size of that, then is 0, then casting the ADDR structure, then ADDR size. Okay, then we're going to print a message data received, and we're going to print the data which you have received from the server. So now we're going to compile both the programs. First we're going to compile the server, then we're going to compile the client. Okay, we're going to run the server part. We're going to say 4455, that is the port number. So now you can see the server is waiting to receive the message. Now we're going to do same with the client, same port number 4455. So you know the same port number 4455, and same we have used here. Okay, so you can see two messages on the client part, data send hello world, and the data receive welcome to the UDP server. So we know we have physically typed this message, and on the server part, server first receive the hello world, then it said send back another message called welcome to the UDP server. Okay, so you can see that's how UDP communicate. That's how UDP client server communicate with each other, exchange messages with each other. So let's say the server isn't running, but still you run the client program. You can see it sends the data when any UDP program is sending the data. It sends the data, does not care whether it is received or not. Okay, you can see here it sends the data, does not care whether it is reached to its destination point or not, but while receiving it waits. Okay, and now it's waiting for the server. Now let's start the server. So what happened? Now server is waiting for the message and client has already sent that. Okay, so now both the programs are waiting for a message. Now we're going to close them and we're going to run it again. Okay, then it would run the right way. Okay, you can see these two same messages, same message. So data exchange is taking place between both the program. In the client, we can remove this space from here so that it does look consistent. Again, we're gonna run it. So this time we're gonna use a different port number. So make sure you do not use the standard port number. Don't use the port range. Use the port after like 1024. Okay, let's say 80. It is reserved for web browsing. Okay, 21 is reserved for file transfer protocol. So let's say you can use 88999 this time. Okay, so server is running on this port number. Next, we're going to run the client on the same port number 8899. So you can see we have the message send. We have sent the message hello world. Server received this message hello world. Then it sends a reply message to the client. The message is welcome to the UDP server. So client received the same message, welcome to the UDP the server. So that's how a UDP TCP client program is built, and communication takes place across both the client and the server. Okay, so some of the examples of like a UDP system is one I'm remembering now is the like DNS. Okay, we also have file transfer system based on the UDP system because they are really fast. They don't need connection. Okay, so I hope you all get the core concept how to build a UDP client server program using a C programming language. And if you still have any issue, any query, any question or anything in mind, just comment below and I'll try to answer all your queries. Or you can follow me on my social media platform and message me there. I'll hopefully try to answer you. Maybe sometime I don't answer because I'm like busy in my work. So I'm sorry for that if I didn't reply to any message. Please do try to understand, like I receive a lot of message, even like I mean not that good YouTuber, not that great subscriber base, but still people send messages, so I'm like a lot of busy sometimes, so I'm sorry for that again. So if you really enjoy the content and you like it and it help in some way, make sure that you join the membership, or you can use that new feature of YouTube called thanks, super thanks, maybe use that and just a little bit help. Okay, that's all for this video. Now I'm gonna sign off. Okay, bye, have a nice day.